Hey folks, how you doing? thiS here today, and I want to introduce you to this beautiful instrument called Dutar. I want to talk about Dutar itself and how it's actually working, and what is the form of music that we play on, and how the composition that we have on this particular instrument is working, because it is not like any other music that we have in the world. So my musical background gave me this, access to, blues and rock and hard rock, country music, jazz music, classical music, and a little bit of knowledge of Indian music and, all Eastern, like Turkish and Arabic music, because I started playing electrical guitar, then I played a little bit of, bass guitar, piano, and finally getting into music college and playing Persian traditional instrument, which I will explain a lot about that later as well. And this exotic looking instrument, which came from northern Khorasan, Iran. And we want to talk about this. The music that we have on this instrument is a little bit different than the other music in the world, because it only has two strings. First of the video we said it called dotar, and dotar actually means, do means two, and tar is equivalence for string. So dotar means an instrument which only has two strings. Let's go for the body and explain how it works. So we only have two strings on this instrument, and it has 11 frets. When we say 11 frets, it means that we do not have one full octave on this instrument, and that is what made it a little bit different than the other music. When you don't have the full access to one full octave, it means that there's some, incapabilities of using, all the notes that we have in the music. So how can we make it more interesting with the compositions? So that's why the composition of this instrument started to change a little bit. My instrument has 13 frets, if you're counting it over the camera, but I just experimentally have two more, because there's some other musics that I like to play with this instrument, and I just wanted to play a full music with it. But the original dotars only have 11 frets. And there is one more interesting thing about this instrument, and that's the first fret of this instrument. The first fret that we have here, it's not actually C sharp. It's a note between C sharp and D. We have C, D, E, F, G, A, and C. We're missing B. And the first fret that we have here, it's not actually C sharp. It's something between C sharp and D. In Persian traditional music, we have a note called koron. Koron is actually more than C sharp and is less than D. But this note that we particularly tune it in something in between of D koron and C sharp. And it's not even close to Persian traditional music. It's even more different than that. And my guess is, the melodies that we have in this particular genre of music, it came out from the heart of the people that were singing it for a long time. And I guess they tuned it in a way that they can sing with it. And this fret, gradually over this long period of time, it just started changing, and it became like this. So 11 frets, one very different frets, and only two strings. When we say two strings, these two strings are going to, limit us in a way that we cannot play a full music. It's not just like guitar, it's not like piano, it's not like any other instruments. Even some instrument like ukulele going to have 4 strings, where we have only 2 here. But this limitation gives us an ability to play it in a way that it sounds different. We have 2 strings here. Technically, we tune the first one in the standard C, And the second one, we tune it down a fourth or down a fifth, like a G or F. So, and now I guess I tuned it in C and G. So, yeah, it sounds like this. The power of the second string here is so much more than you can ever imagine. While we're playing a melody on the first string, like, for instance, when we're playing this melody with the help of the second string, it'll going to sound like this. If you've noticed that when we're using the second string here, we're actually adding harmony to the music that we have. So imagine an instrument like this only contains 2 strings. It's going to generate a melody which has harmony above it. So, you know, the only harmonic instrument that we have in the world is guitar and piano, which we can play chord with them. But this instrument is actually way different than them also. It's not like, you know, violin that we can only play melodies. You know, sometimes people play chords on it, but it's not like a frequent use of violin. They're only playing it in a very solo form, or they're playing only melodies. But with piano and guitar, we can play chords. But this instrument is something in between. We're not playing full chords, but what we have here, it's the simultaneous melody and harmony above each other. The thing that's going to make this instrument much more complicated is every single rhythm that we're using on this instrument is odd. We only have odd time signature here, like 3/4, 5/4, 7/4, 7/8, 9/8, and they're different. They're so different. With the help of, you know, the 2 strings, which generates melody and harmony simultaneously, and with the help of odd time signatures, we play a music that does not exist in any other genres. And that's fantastic for somebody like me that, like, you know, better to say love experimenting different things and, you know, gaining this knowledge of different forms of music. It was mind-blowing that whatever we have here is odd time signature and melody and harmony above each other. The very next things that I want to talk about, and it's a little bit bizarre, but I found it myself like quite amazing about this instrument, is while you're holding one note here and you're just going to play it like, you know, the way that we strike the string, it'll going to give us 2 sounds, you know, 2 octaves, right? Sorry. The note that I can hear is da, da, and while we're holding another string here, it's going to be like do, do, and then when we're playing, I'm not actually hearing 2 notes. I'm actually hearing 4 notes. And while we have 4 notes, I can say I can hear more things. I mean, like more than just 2 notes, but a quartet. So imagine one instrument is equal a quartet when we're playing it. Now I just want to demonstrate something interesting here. Just listen to the thing that I'm going to play here. So actually I can hear a lot of beautiful notes in there, which is different than playing just piano or playing, I don't know, one guitar or any instrument. This instrument sounds more than one instrument to me. And that is the things that motivated me to learn more about it. The way that we compose music on this instrument based on the things that so far we had, the 2 strings, 11 frets, odd time signatures, and whatever, the composition is a little bit different. It is different in a way that we always start playing a piece in dotar, which we commonly call maram, is going to start from the top of the neck. And it'll continue at the middle of the neck, and it'll going a lot higher on the down of the neck. You know, we start from here, we continue from here, and we go here. And this form of composition is all over the marams that I'm going to show you later, and playing them for you and demonstrate them for you as well. So the form of music that we compose is just like going to follow the same structure. The other things about the composition in this music that is so strange is that we don't have tonal music here. This is all modal. The way that we play, the way that we use notes, and the way that we trying to, you know, phrase everything is a little bit different. So we're using only modes and not scales. Why using only modes? It's because of the second string here. We have to use modes. And it gives us that modal feelings all the time. The frequent modes that we're using on this instrument are, you know, Phrygian mode, Phrygian dominant is the next one, which is the 5th mode of harmonic minor scale. The next one is Aeolian. So we have Ionian, and finally Locrian, which is like this. But if we just play this modes in just one string, it's going to be, you know, melodical, like it's just like other musics. But when we're using the second string, it's going to sound not like any other music anymore. Just listen to this. So far, so good. We explained about the form of the music that we have, the modes that we're using, the odd time signature, and the form that we start from the up of the string, we continue from the middle, and we finally go to the end. And one more actually things that came to my mind is there are other instruments that my people are using them, that we call them, you know, kamanche or roshme. Their repertoire is exactly different than dotar. They're actually using down of the neck as a starting point, and they continue at the middle, and they finish at top. But I'm not actually playing them. But in the meanwhile, if I find any professional of those instruments, I will bring them in front of the camera, and I will talk to them specifically about how their repertoire works. But as far as I know, this is what exactly the way that this instrument is working. So for showing you actually the way that everything works, I want to play a maron for you called Navoi, and I want to show you the odd time signature and the melody and the harmony and everything together, and finally demonstrate how it works, and we'll finish this video. So let's play this. So it was a marron that I actually played called Navoi. Well, the idea behind the composition of this particular marron was that we started from the Aeolian mode. We actually started from the D here, and so we started from Aeolian and we went for Ionian, which is the major scale here, and we went for some melodical and beautiful melodies here, which was like and then we were here, the middle part and the end part, which we had the rhythm, we're going really fast, and everything from here to, sorry. So we came here to the high notes, and then we get back to the middle part and we ended our music on the place that we actually started. So that was the form of the composition that we had all over the neck, and the rhythm that was there. You can tell me what is it if you're into music. We can talk about it later. Leave it on the comments, then we can talk more technical in there. And the one thing that I want to add is I want to talk about this instrument a lot, and I will show you one of the most complicated marrons, which are not less than what Bach made like 500 years ago, 400 years ago, because this instrument is very old, and some of the composition that they found on this instrument, they're more exotic than you can ever imagine, and they're not like any other composition or just changing one mode to another. They're well thought and well placed notes and phrases on some of them, which they're completely crazy. One of the most complicated form of music I've ever seen in my life. So I want to work on them. If there are musicians out there that they just want to collaborate and work on the melodies that I played and work on more complicated stuff on this instrument, I'm more willing to work with them. You can leave comments or you can send me emails and we can talk about it later as well. So thank you for now, and I'll be back with more marrons to play for you and more instruments to actually tell you about and demonstrate some of the beautiful instruments that I have the privilege to know them and play them in my life. Thanks for now. Take care. Bye-bye.